Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Masters in Counseling Psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. In this episode, I'm going to share the astrology update for March 2022. Stay tuned till the end of the episode when I give my sun sign predictions for each sign. Welcome to the episode on the astrology of March 2022. Stay tuned till the end of the episode when I give my sun sign predictions for each sign. I will share the key astrological dates and activities during the month of March and then go back and give more details. March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. The planetary war between Mars and Venus and Capricorn is still raging, mirroring the Russian invasion of Ukraine. War and Peace, like the Russian author Tolstoy's book. Old timelines playing out on the European continent for the first time since World War II. Mars is the god of war, and Venus is the goddess of love and peace. Venus will win as she breaks away from the conjunction with Mars after March 18th and ushers in peace during this Piscean equinox. Pisces is an introspective and more internal sign than Aquarius. It is the last sign of the Zodiac. It represents the end of a cycle and hopefully a maturation and soulful resolution of the past months. Here are the key dates in March 2022. On March 2nd, new moon in Pisces at 12:35 p.m. EST. March 6th, Venus and Mars transit into Aquarius. On March 10th, Mercury transits into Pisces. March 18th is a full moon with the sun in Pisces and moon in Virgo. March 20th, the spring equinox arrives at 11:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the Northern Hemisphere when the sun enters Aries. March 27th, Mercury transits into Aries. March slides in with all systems go as all planets are traveling direct until April 29th when Pluto goes retrograde right before the solar eclipse of April 30th. So we are free and clear of eclipses or retrograde planets until the end of April. Take advantage of this almost 2-month period of time to make plans and projects to move forward when we get into April. We've had a lot of Capricornian energy, and that's still hanging on here in the first days of March with Mars, Venus, and Pluto conjunct at the end of Capricorn. Be patient. Things will start moving soon. During March, a stellium, or group, of 8 of the 10 planets are traveling through the last 3 signs of the Zodiac: Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Capricorn is the final earth sign, Aquarius is the final air sign, and Pisces is the final water sign, as well as the last sign on the zodiac wheel. This is a time of endings, not necessarily new beginnings. Timelines are coming to a head for everyone, personally and collectively. Mars roars in like that lion with the Mars, Venus, and Pluto conjunction in late degrees of Capricorn. They're exact on March 3rd. The old order and regimes die hard, as evidenced by Putin, who seems to be living in another time dimension, invading Ukraine. Russia invades Ukraine, trying to bring back the old Soviet Union. Interesting, because an old timeline played out. And here we go. 1989 followed the Berlin Wall when we had 3 planets conjunct in Capricorn, Saturn, and the outer planets Uranus and Neptune. And now here we are with the 3 planets conjunct in Capricorn again, Mars, Venus, and 1 outer planet, Pluto. It's the ending, not the beginning. There is more to the Ukraine invasion than what's being shown on mainstream media. I've been tuning into the Ukrainian situation and checked out Putin and Biden's chart. The timing of this is uncanny. The Ukrainian situation starts instantly as soon as COVID is gone. What's up? Next fearful scenario trotted out. Here we go, fear-mongering. Sit back and watch the third-dimensional Matrix movie play out. The old paradigm playbook thrives on keeping the populace in fear and under control. Everything playing out on the planet in the past years has been a heightened third-dimensional matrix power play to keep people as sheeple in fear. There are agendas here, folks, and they're not for people to become liberated and enlightenment. Just the opposite. I'm not touting any conspiracy stuff here. I just say watch the global show unfold. Be in the world, but not of it. With the nodes of the moon transiting Taurus and Scorpio, the money signs, it's all related to world economic issues. There's something else going on beyond what is being portrayed by mainstream media. Follow the dollar, as we say here in Massachusetts. Follow the dollar. You'll see what it's all about. The positive aspect about what is happening is that it's bringing out compassion and empathy for the Ukrainian people from people all over the world. The Ukrainian people who are pawns in a global game of show me the money. If you spin this positively, it's accelerating consciousness so people get with the fifth dimensional program of seeing the big picture. The Ascended Masters are on alert to keep things moving into higher frequencies. Mars, Venus, and Pluto conjunct at 27 degrees Capricorn on March 3rd, 2022. Interestingly, this is the degree of America's Pluto, and the U.S. has been experiencing its Pluto return at the exact degree during February and March 2022. One of the reasons that the U.S. is not getting involved in the actual fighting is for Plutonian reasons. No one wants a planetary nuclear confrontation, and Russia has nukes. The planet Pluto was discovered at the same time when nuclear power began in the 1930s, when physicist Enrico Fermi first showed that neutrons could split atoms. Simmer down now, Pluto. A lot of other astrologers have grim and alarmist predictions of the United States Pluto return, but I've been reading charts for many years and studied many planetary returns with people and with groups and with countries and other returns for other energies, people or things or companies or countries. And so one thing people need to be aware of, this is a conjunction aspect, which is not as dire as an oppositional or square aspect in astrology. My interpretation is that the U.S. has to take back their power internationally, just like they did when the British Crown was bullying the colonies. The early Americans took back their country and kicked some British butt. The U.S. is being asked to flex their Plutonian muscles at the return by standing up to aggressive situations and find a way to make the economy better. Pluto rules share resources, death, transformation, and rebirth. There's more to the Pluto return than what's being touted out there. More on the U.S. Pluto return in an upcoming podcast. On March 2nd, the new moon occurs in the sign of Pisces with the sun, moon, Jupiter, and Neptune all traveling through the surreal and spiritual sign. If one is tuned into the higher dimensions of light, they will notice spiritual signs and synchronicities everywhere during March, much more than spotting the cardinals signifying loved ones from spirit. The new moon is generous and optimistic as it shares celestial space with jovial Jupiter. Harmony flows to Uranus and Taurus for progressive, innovative, and interesting insights. The major bodies are all direct, contributing to the feeling of moving forward. Mercury and Saturn are closely aligned in Aquarius, however, giving cause for collective concerns and maybe throwing a little wrench into the best laid plans. You want to go ahead and get those new electronics and get those new cars and move forward, but Saturn conjunct Mercury says, wait till they're in the clear, and Mercury is further away from Saturn by mid to late March. The new moon hosts a Piscean plethora of planets, including Sun, Moon, Jupiter, and Neptune, casting rays on love and healing. This new moon occurs at 12 degrees Pisces. According to Dane Rudar, who translated the Sabian symbol system of archetypal descriptions of the 360 degrees of the Zodiac, 12 degrees Pisces means, quote, in the sanctuary of an occult brotherhood, newly initiated members are being examined and their character tested. Wow, it seems like everybody's getting their character tested these days, not just those that are in the occult brotherhood. The keynote of this means the ever-repeated challenge presented to the individual by the group in which they have claimed acceptance, the challenge to prove oneself and their ability to assume responsibility effectively. This reminded me of this time when everybody's calling themselves a shaman or master healer. Maybe they were initiated into some practice like Reiki, or they took a shamanic class, and now they're toting themselves all over the internet and asking for a lot of money. But they need to put the money where their mouth is and use their light to benefit the group consciousness at this point, instead of coming from the ego perspective of, hey, I got this initiation, now give me some money. They really need to respect, if they did get initiated, that there comes a lot of discernment and humility if you have received that level of initiation. It's not something to tout all over Facebook. The new moon with the sun, which is the light, the moon, the subconscious, Jupiter, the benefic, and Neptune, the mystic, in Pisces, can be a time of deep healing, replenishing, and connection to source. We are all swimming through the emotional, physical, and mental muck, ready to bloom like the lotus, to emerge renewed and restored. It is a time of completing cycles, releasing all that no longer serves, and surrendering to the soul. On March 6th, Venus and Mars leave the Capricornian cluster with Pluto and strike out in the revolutionary sign of Aquarius. Mars and Venus say, you can't put baby in a corner. In this case, Russia, you can't put Ukraine back into a communist bloc or box. They are democratic and they have enjoyed the fruits of democracy for over 30 years. The world is uprising against the old patriarchal, oligarchical tactics of the old order Russia. Not only will the collective rise up during March against control agendas of any time, including any vaccine mandates or population or travel restrictions, even though they seem to have been drawn back now, wait and see. These limitations on the populace will now always be hovering on the horizon, since mandating was already enforced and they got away with it. So get ready for the next round. Individuals will stand up for their rights and freedoms, with Mars and Venus transiting through the sign of the rebel Aquarian. We will enjoy lifting of restrictions, and people will be traveling and making plans for spring and summer adventures finally. On March 10th, Mercury shifts into Pisces, joining Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune in the watery realms. Things are about to get groovy, and it's time to tune in or tune out. The dimensions are blurring, and we are swimming in the celestial soups of surreal life, shamanic dreamtime, altered realities, and mystic crystal visions. On March 18th, a full moon occurs in the sign of Virgo. Get ready for information being exposed that has been hidden or distorted. Virgo rules issues around health and service. It's a good time to take care of things you have neglected around health, routines, diet, work, and organizing your life in a way that will allow it to be on remote control. Virgo takes care of details, facts, and wants things to be organized so life goes smoothly. And then you can follow bigger pursuits like your spiritual awakening and soul evolution with 4 planets in Pisces, the sign of the sublime. The full moon harmonizes with Pluto, amplifying the themes of transformation, release, and rebirth. The Sabian symbol degree of this full moon in Virgo is 28 degrees Virgo, which means, quote, a bald-headed man who has seized power. The keynote is the sheer power of the personality in times that call for decision. I had the biggest WTF moment when I read this Sabian symbol, because I can think of a bald-headed man who's trying to seize power here at the beginning of March. Comrade Putin, uh-oh. This could mean that he does get some level of power over Ukraine, or it is temporary. Again, sit back and watch the third-dimensional drama play out. Spring equinox arrives on March 20th, 2022. marking the beginning of the astrological new year as the sun transits into Aries. Spring is the natural season to initiate new regimes, especially concerning health and diet. During spring, we can cleanse and detoxify the liver, gallbladder, and colon. Releasing toxic people and situations from your life is a good idea, too. Anything we implement at the spring equinox has staying power. Spring into action. Mercury shifts into Aries on March 27th, amplifying the themes initiating at the spring equinox and kicking up the urge to surge and get things done. Ready, set, go. Stay tuned for the part of the episode you've been waiting for, sun sign forecast. Welcome back to the part of the episode you've been waiting for. Sun sign predictions for each sign for March 2022. Let's start with the birthday kids, Pisces. Hey Pisces, March presents a plethora of Piscean planets, especially at the new moon on March 2nd, with the sun, moon, Jupiter, and Neptune swimming through the celestial seas of consciousness. The moon passes through and Mercury joins the Piscean party on March 10th. Good time to be a Pisces. Escape from all the craziness out there in the world and submerge into your soul. Luck and love for you this month. And guess what? You get 4 lucky days in March. The 2nd, 13th, 29th, and 30th. Enjoy. Aries. Aries feels neglected in early March with inner planets partying in Pisces. Be patient, Aries, although that's never your strong suit. Let planets transiting the last sign of the zodiac play out before you spring into action at the spring equinox and the return of the sun into the sign of the rambunctious ram. Mars and Venus throw some love to Aries from Aquarius, helping you network with like-minded souls. The sun enters Aries on March 20th, and Mercury joins in the Aries action on March 27th. It's go time! Your lucky days are March 4th, 5th, and 31st. Taurus. Uranian infusions send surges of inspirations and energetic awakenings to Taurus. Find an outlet to channel those cosmic currents so your creativity can be boosted. You are thinking outside the box and are amazed at the way your body is adapting and processing in new ways. Friendly Pisces planets want to nurture you and bring out your latent gifts. At the spring equinox, you enter the karmic return cycle of the past year. The last month before your birthday is always a good time to wrap up loose ends from the previous solar year. It is a time of endings and completions, but also the karmic return from the past birth year. Your lucky days, Taurus, are March 6th, 7th, and 8th. Gemini. Don't be all talk and no action this month, Gemini. Get out of your head and into your body. Move your energy and walk your walk. Mars and Venus trine your sun, sending inspiring thought forms that won't go anywhere unless you follow through on this download. Break out of old cycles and try something new and different. Your lucky days, Gemini, are March 9th and 10th. Cancer. Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune in romantic, poetic Pisces are joined by the moon at the Piscean new moon of March 2nd, throwing beautiful aspects in early March to Cancerians. Mercury lights up your mind when it joins the Piscean party on March 10th. You feel like you can unwind and let those creative juices flow freely. Pisces planets pulse love and healing to fellow water sign Cancer who basks in the protective light. Your lucky days, Cancer, are March 11th, 12th, and 13th. Leo. Leo lurches from the opposition of Mars and Venus in Aquarius. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You may have to put other people first and place your own agenda on hold during March. The fog begins to lift after the spring equinox, and you see clearly the next steps. Mercury transiting into Aries excites and energizes and provides the oomph to forge forward. Your lucky days, Leo, are March 14th and 15th. Virgo. Virgo's fuzzy head won't get clear no matter how much coffee or supplements they imbibe in early March. Enjoy the mystic crystal revelations and don't try to make sense out of it until the Virgo full moon on March 18th. Then you emerge from the haze and get a newfounded clarity. You eliminate the unnecessary and get back down to brass tacks. Your lucky days, Virgo, are March 16th and 17th. Libra. Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, and Neptune transiting through Pisces in early March are in your house of health. So ride the energy surges as they come and rest when necessary. You may feel like your physical body is running the gamut of symptoms and frequencies. Some days you'll be very vitalized and go full steam ahead, and other days you may feel exhausted. Don't let thinking about everything you need to do exhaust you. Make sure you implement health regimes like green drinks, magnesium, zinc, and potassium that support and maintain energy levels. Your lucky days, Libra, are March 18th and 19th. Scorpio. Scorpio gets a much-needed boost in early March with all planets traveling direct and Piscean planets pulsing healing and love. Practice your self-improvement and energetic practices so that the wheels of karma spin in your favor. Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, and Neptune in Pisces in harmonious aspect to your sun fares well for romance, pursuit of pleasure, and spiritual life. Your lucky days, Scorpio, are March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Sagittarius. You're walking around a daze in early March. This feels like a really weird high. It's like all your motivation and vitality just leaked out. Don't worry, Sag. You'll get your groove back at the vernal equinox on March 20th when the flames are lit and fires of inspiration flare up. Your lucky days are March 23rd and 24th. Capricorn. Death and rebirth, transformation and regeneration. These are the energies that Capricorn is accepting and living in their daily reality. You get to take time out to reflect on the past months and years while planets pulse through Pisces. Mars and Venus transiting your second house of resources say, show me the money. Reinvent your fiscal future. Your lucky days, Capricorn, are March 25th and 22nd. Aquarius. Mars and Venus forms an Aquarian planetary plenum, preaching new paradigms into the populace. Piscean party in your second house of resources stir up the waters of creativity, aligning you to new sources of income. You find a new flow where work is play and play is work, and you can work smart, not hard. Your insights and inspirations are much needed now. The collective consciousness is way behind schedule in shifting into Aquarian age adjustments, and you have the keys to the kingdom. Your lucky days, Aquarius, are March 1st, March 27th, and 28th. I hope you enjoyed the March 2022 Astro Update. Remember to subscribe, share, download, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine signing out, sending you healing cosmic rays through the quantum field.